Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me for what is really a sad occasion. Let me introduce you to Adayn Rodriguez. Adayn Rodriguez is 41 years of age. His wife is Karla Rodriguez. She's 35 years of age, and today is her birthday. Here's what occurred. At about 1:30 this afternoon, Adayn Rodriguez's brother called the sheriff's office and said that his brother, Adayn, was threatening to kill himself. Not only that, he was threatening to kill his wife. In fact, he told his brother, "How convenient is it that it's Karla's birthday? Today's the day that she's going to die, and then I'm going to kill myself." Our deputies arrived at the scene and were attempting to talk to and de-escalate this horrible domestic violence event. And guess what happened? Immediately, Adayn comes out of the second floor of the house onto a balcony and points a gun at one of my deputies, and immediately goes back into the house. So for approximately 1 hour, we try to de-escalate the situation and get things under control. In the meantime, Adayn makes several phone calls. Some of them are to 911. He, in fact, calls one of our deputies and says, "Hey, I want to talk to you on a personal matter." Apparently, Adayn is a mechanic and at some time in the past worked on one of the deputy's personal vehicles. The deputy, who knew him, tried to de-escalate the situation. And then at this point in time, when we knew how out of control that Adayn was, tried to get his wife, Karla, to come out of the house. And apparently she wouldn't. This goes on for approximately 1 hour. Then Adayn says, when I commit suicide, it's really not going to hurt because I've smoked a lot of meth. He steps back out onto the balcony from the house, and he points his gun at one of our deputies. Our lieutenant, who is now on perimeter, shoots Adayn one time, and he runs back into the house as the deputy who had the gun pointed at him also shot. We had an entry team on the other side of the house immediately make entry into the house and engaged Adayn and shot him several times, and he's deceased. After this was over, we also discovered Karla deceased. The investigation's underway. That's all the details that we have at this time. We certainly hope to release more information later on. If you have questions, you can ask them, but quite frankly, I've told you about everything we know at this early stage of the investigation. We just obtained a search warrant for the residence in the last little while. We are talking to witnesses and to our deputies. The investigation's underway. The 10th Judicial District officer involved task force is investigating this, and that task force is made up of law enforcement officers from the 10th Judicial Circuit. So the investigation's underway. When the investigation's complete, we'll send our findings from the task force to our state attorney, who is an outstanding state attorney, Brian Haas, and he will have the final review of this event. Any questions?
Do you know if Adayn killed Karla or did Karla kill herself? We're not sure yet.
We have no idea of the sequence inside the house after he came out and pointed the gun for a second time at the deputies. What we know is that they have had ongoing problems, according to one relative, for about 5 years. Karla was apparently arrested for domestic violence this last summer against him. They have 3 children together, 2 twins that are 4 years old and I believe a 5-year-old. She has 2 additional children in addition to the three that they've had together. So that's the details that we know about the family, and we're not sure of the circumstance, but we know Karla is deceased, and we shot Adayn to protect ourselves and in an attempt to rescue Karla from the house.
Can you clarify, just so we understand, when you said that the deputies engaged Adayn when they went inside the house, did Adayn at any time fire at the deputies?
That's still under investigation. He pointed the gun at us twice. He threatened to kill himself. He said he was going to kill his wife on her birthday, and she's dead in the house. So that investigation is clearly still underway. But here's the bottom line to it. We don't wait for people to shoot at us in order to save lives, our life, and obviously the victim's life as well. So once again, this information is brand new, and we'll provide additional information at a later date.
When you mentioned that you're speaking with witnesses, were there any other family members who were inside the house at the time?
No, there was no family members inside the house, and it's a God thing. The children weren't there. They were with their grandmother.
Do you know when he was on the balcony and he pointed and the lieutenant fired at him, do you know if that struck him at all that first time?
We're still investigating that. We have every reason to believe that it did, based upon what we know at the early stages of the investigation. But he went back into the house. And that was the second time he came out and pointed the gun at the deputies. The first time he came out, it was so quick, we didn't have the opportunity to shoot on that particular occasion. But we also had an entry team that immediately made entry on the other side of the house in order to stop him from engaging and shooting, because he told us he was going to shoot and kill her on her birthday. And when we engaged him with our entry team, we shot him, and he continued to try to shoot us. And whether or not he got any rounds off or not, we don't know, because this was a dynamic entry to a very violent situation.
Do you know if I know that you said that you aren't sure if he fired at the team as they entered the house. Do you know if he pointed the gun at the team as they entered the house, or if the first two times that he pointed them was good enough to just...
Well, we don't know exactly what happened, other than the fact that obviously he had the gun and was attempting to either point the gun at us, commit suicide, having shot his wife or shot his wife. All of that's under investigation at this time. But here's the issue. We spent almost an hour trying to de-escalate. He told his brother, "You call law enforcement, I'm going to make them shoot me and kill me." And then he told, I believe it was his brother on another occasion, "I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to kill her, but I've smoked a lot of meth and it's not going to hurt."
Can you also talk about for Adayn? I know you mentioned that Karla had a previous history of being arrested for domestic
Yes.
violence. What about him?
Adayn has a previous history for aggravated assault and domestic violence. I believe one of those events were in Polk County, one was in another county, but I don't know his complete criminal history, but he has some criminal history.
Any idea if those were against Karla?
I don't know at this point.
And then what's your message? You know, anybody who's around Polk County knows you take these very seriously. What's your message to any criminal out there who thinks that they can point a gun at your deputies?
Sure, I mean, it's evident. He told his brother that he was going to make us kill him. He told his brother he was going to kill his wife on her birthday and then kill himself. We went there to rescue her and to de-escalate the situation, and he pointed a gun at us. If you point a gun at us, we're going to shoot you. We're going to shoot you a lot. We're not going to let you hurt us, and we're going to do everything we can to stop you from hurting your wife, neighbors, other people in the area. We didn't choose to shoot Adayn. He chose for us to shoot him, and we obliged him. Okay? Thank you very much.